Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Retro Ranger Wrap-Up, right here on that hashtag show. Well, to my right, stage right, left, right. Yeah. To my right is the lovely, the one, only, the incomparable, ever incomparable. Can I say that?
Sure.
Yeah, ever incomparable.
That's like a $50 word on.
Oh, yes,
I like that.
Thank you. Elle Tea.
And over here we have our very fancy and floral today.
Yeah,
Daniel Jerome. I like this.
Thank you. Right?
I like your outfit.
The whole thing in the shoes. I love it. I'm matching.
And I got my Power Ranger shirt.
That is the thing that I was looking for. I just love the shirt so much.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense. You said you like Trini the most. Yellow Ranger makes sense.
But I'm hoping to get to more Ranger shirts in my collection as we progress through the different series. And actually today we're starting off with new Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, which is a slight 0.5 removal for Mighty Morphin.
It's like it's season 3.5.
Yes.
I think that's what I would call it, right? Because then right after that, we go into Zio.
And we have a different title for this, which is interesting, even though it is still in that Mighty Morphin kind of vein. So I don't want to consider this a real new season yet. But
Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers.
Yes.
Does it roll off the tongue for you?
Not as good as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Right.
But
go Alien Rangers, because they have a moment where they change the song.
They do, and I did notice that. It was
kind of forced.
And it's kind of hard. And it's one of these things, especially as a kid, being resistant to change.
Oh, yeah.
Was a big thing. So I understand why they don't want to change the cast, why they don't want to change the outfits, and, because it is kind of jarring as a kid and still as an adult to some extent. Not things are changing. I don't like change. And you'll hear my opinions on these beginning episodes of Alien Rangers. As we go through.
Very true. Well, we want to say hello, and everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Hello to everyone in the chat. Right now, we got a lot of people in here. We're looking at, we have the Bat Tootsie Man, which I love. Name it after him.
Oh, I like that.
Tootsie, right? The Bat Tootsie Man. We got Matt in there. We got Edward Sanchez Productions, a.k.a. Edward Sanchez Approved. Boom. We have Toku Kid. Shout out to you.
Toku?
He was just here yesterday, actually.
Awesome. That's what I heard.
He was in studio, so I love that.
Learning some new things.
Anna Miles back on the chat. We appreciate it. Thomas Franco, Mass Blue Rider, Mass Rider Blue. I'm still trying to figure out who that is.
Secret
Identities. Yeah, Secret Identities. Blackwing. Hey, Blackwing, I'm glad you're here. The man that hates everything is always the man that I want to talk to.
But see, I like that. I feel because I generally like a lot of things. Yes, I like people that have conflicting opinions, and I'm trying to stay open-minded, learn some new stuff, new perspectives.
I need it. I need someone to kind of, ring me in and say, look, I don't care what you just liked. That was horrible. Tell me the truth, huh? That's what I'm asking for. Fun K Comics. Oh, my gosh. LAP Productions. There are so many. Ryan, what's up? Megan, Jared Hodges. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you. Layla, I'm trying not to miss anyone. I appreciate everyone. Robin Chan. Oh my gosh, there are so many of you. Hey, we appreciate all of you being here to go ahead and experience the show with us.
I know, right? And on this time, what do you call it? We fall back on time, so we have an extra hour. So thanks so much for joining us. And it's already it's dark outside for us over here, so it feels like it's my bedtime. And with all of you in the chat, we have Super Chat. If you want to comment and make sure that we actually see your comments, it'll push it to the top of the page.
And then we'll be able to chat with you guys.
Yeah, because sometimes chat moves kind of fast. So
gosh.
We got the Super Chat.
Super Chat's always there.
Yeah.
So let's go into the episodes. So we got 3 to go into. So let's talk about them, break them down, see what we have as far as our thoughts.
The Alien Rangers of Aquitar. This is actually my first experience with these. I had fallen off of the Power Ranger bandwagon in my childhood, a little bit earlier than this, actually. It was slightly after the movie had come out. So this is all brand new content. And it's kind of interesting. As you guys know, if you watch the show every week, I am not a huge fan of child actors.
That you also hate when it comes to the ninja.
The ninja suits, and they still had that opening, but I was actually kind of surprised by these kids because they are super young and in the vein of Power Rangers, I thought they were really good at portraying the characters they were supposed to portray.
The kids were good actors.
Yeah, especially Billy with the language and everything.
Man,
he was amazing.
They were on it. The only thing was, I was like, why does Rocky have a ponytail and a mullet? You know,
because he was a good kid, man.
I guess when time goes back, that's how he was, and that's just how he looks. There are those weird moments, but I did love so much of this whole time going back, because I am not a fan of that whole time goes back and
that
your
trope
stars.
It's been used, and they actually mention it in these episodes too. Like,
yeah, they do.
Again, we're kids again.
Yes,
because we have seen this before.
Oh man, it was great for me. I love the location choices. Yep. I love that we got to see so many different areas.
I did like that too. They're finally expanding the city.
It was world building on a better level for me, and it was like I enjoyed it because I was like, oh wow, this looks different. This is not what I'm used to seeing when it comes to Power Rangers. I usually am seeing a park, a school, a rec center, and then just shift it around, but it's the same set, you know, and something else.
Outdoors, different places. It's not the park. And like the other thing, we had the picture of Child Bulk and Skull up there, and like I love those characters too. I thought those kids were really good at portraying.
We've got a super chat already from Andros the Warrior High Alpha. He says,
That's
"I want the
name.
mighty."
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna remember that. Can I just call you Andros?
We're gonna call you Andros. Thank you, Andros.
Okay.
Yes, I appreciate it. I want the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, Ninja Storm Rangers, and Ninja Steel Rangers team up. Back in the old days, Saban used to do that. So it would be an honor for him to actually see it happen.
Like the actual mashups. That's what I love about shows too. And wasn't that like the
forever? It's an honor to meet us also. He says, thank you.
Oh, Davidas.
Yeah.
Honor to meet you too. Thanks so much for the super chat.
But that whole kind of thing when it comes to those team ups, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. And originally in this series, I forgot what it's originally called. Let me see. Hold on.
But I know that we get it too for like Forever
Kaku
Red.
Ranger.
I haven't gotten there yet, but there is a massive kind of joining of all of that too.
But then but with this one with Kaku Ranger originally, they meet up with the previous Zolu Rangers, and they have a team up where it's them versus them. And then they also have a team up, a movie where it's not really a movie because it's only 30 minutes, and it was just like an episode that just didn't air, but it's them and the Rangers that follow them for their next, that's how they usually do the intro for them. So it was Kaku Ranger versus whatever. And so that was another thing where it's like their team up, Forever Red. Like, these classic team ups.
We don't have that yet because especially for Power Rangers, we only technically have like one iteration of Power Rangers at this point.
That's
but
right.
I feel like as they go on, they're eventually going to merge, and we kind of saw like the 50th year, because as Joe says, it's not the anniversary.
It's not the anniversary. But 25th.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying the 25th. I'm sorry, I misspoke. But the 25th, like, we do get to see these things, and they're so much fun, and I do hope that we get more of this, and I would be excited to see that too, Andros.
Dude, it would be one of the coolest things ever, really, to see a really good team up, like a good mashup of just different people. It could be Forever Red again, as long as it's not like that legacy battle or whatever that thing. Oh, that thing was horrible. There was a moment where it was like, okay, the Rangers come through and they're seeing all these other Rangers, and it's supposed to be this epic fight, but you don't really see the epic fight, and it's just them on like mountain ridges, and they just kind of walk up into the scene. They're like, just people in suits, just like that. And you're like, oh my God, there goes it. And then they start the fanboy on that moment, and they're like, there goes that Ranger, there goes that Ranger. Oh, that's the Green Ranger. And like they're all, blah blah. And they're like, let's go fight. And then that's how it happens.
See, that's kind of the thing too, where it's like, I don't know. I do like the world expanding. I do like, kind of meshing of these different like universes or different series, as you will, which is like kind of why I also like the idea in this one where you bring a lot of the old monsters back. We've seen that a lot in, Power Rangers. But this one, it started off like very good for me. Like we get Rita, Zedd, and Goldar, and they're ginormous, and they're destroying Angel Grove.
Yes.
And for a moment, I'm like, oh my goodness, they won. The Power Rangers are kids. They can't use their power coins. They have no way to morph. And giant aliens are destroying the city.
Yes.
But the one thing that I take issue with, nothing else, it's like, because these monsters are destroying buildings now and not just kind of fighting in the park and vacant areas, mandatory curfew. I don't know if that would help a big portion of the population, but I'm glad that they did mention that there is some kind of news out there and some kind of public warning system to warn the citizens that there are giant monsters destroying their city.
I don't know. For me, it was just like kind of like the mandatory curfew now, okay, this is out because of the monsters that are out running the city.
And I'm assuming they have this every day, right?
Remember, we went back in time. So from 94, we go back in time, probably roughly 8 years or 10 years. But no, they're not 20-something. So probably like 8 years. Because they're like 18, 16. They're 16, so probably we went 6 years, maybe. I don't know. But we went back in time, and with them going back in time, that's exactly when it was. It was like
that is a good point where they are not used to this.
Yes.
And also the timey-wimey
didn't show up then yet.
Thing about this of, we have Rocky, Aisha, and Adam here, and they're like,
don't worry about it.
I know, but it's hard, and
because this is what I'll say. All right, this is gonna be my thoughtful criticism.
All right.
So this is the thing. I gotta say that I paid attention to. There was a lot of things that the writers were doing. Because there are moments where Billy's explanation as to why they retain their memories was a really good explanation.
I did like that because no one else seemed to know what was going on except for them.
And what they kept trying to do on the show, at least for those 3 episodes, they would answer a question that was automatically asked while you were watching the show. Because at that moment I was like, wait a minute. So if they went back in time, why do these people remember who? And then immediately Billy's like, oh, it seems that they remember us because I was like, okay, well there you go. Billy has an answer for me. Billy coming through like a champ. And then after that, when we had all the other issues, they would address things. My only thing was that, yes, I know when it comes to time travel, here's where we have a lot of problems. But imagine it's the Earth that actually went through the time travel. And as a result, they went younger, but it wasn't really them that moved. So the thing is, like, I know everybody was like, wait, so
I see
why
what
is
you're
Aisha
saying.
and Adam
I see what you're saying, that they are still there, but that's why the technology is a little more ancient, why Billy can't create any of these new things.
It's wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey, but it has a particular type of answer. It's hard to give the full answer, and a lot of people won't get. I knew you'd get it because it was like, oh, Doctor Who, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to really put it down for everyone else that doesn't really get it, but it's wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey, guys. Time is not always going to be in a straight line, especially when you're messing with it.
And it makes sense because Billy, who is ingenious at creating... I'm actually going to talk about, just to clarify, about these episodes as one, even though it's part 1 and part 2. So,
forget it, guys.
we keep just mentioning the first one, but it is a 2-parter for this, first episode, which I thought it was also a really good thing.
Very true.
Also, how Billy, in the future has a lot of buckets and stuff where he has to use a toy robot,
a
piggy bank, as his DSS Machina kind of thing. But I thought that was actually pretty good too.
It was good.
And it explains a lot. He doesn't have a lot to work with, and it's a kid's toy, and they're kids, and I thought that was a good tie-in, actually.
Here comes Billy showing up like MacGyver, just putting things together and making it happen. And the thing is, like, I'm looking here and I'm thinking, are we going to get a spinoff called Billy Kid Genius? That's it. I want that to happen.
Is it like going to be like a Doogie Howser version of like
Doogie
Power
Howser,
Rangers?
but he's solving mysteries and stopping monsters without really having to fight them. I would love that.
That robot with like, is that like the Empire State Building? On the
robot's
top of that
robot's head, and it's a jackpot thing, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're promoting gambling,
but
who doesn't love underage gambling, huh?
Oh man, and I'm kind of like diverting from everything, but the casting for Adam I thought was actually spot on.
Dude, the casting for all of them was really good.
Especially
good.
But
one thing I did notice, Tommy, the kid Tommy, a little bit darker than Tommy.
I mean, when you're a kid, you're playing out,
That's his little brother. Later, you see he gets older, his brother is darker than him.
Oh, okay.
So that was the thing. So it was like, but he was a little bit darker. And then I looked at Rocky, I was like, Rocky's a little bit darker too. And I asked Joe, and Joe was like, yeah, I don't know. But that's all Joe said to me. That was it.
But I mean, that's the thing too, because like you grow as kids, and like, little Aisha I thought was super good. These outfits are super
possibly
cute.
the best
casting
for any time in Power Rangers in life is little Aisha.
And if you guys in the chat, who was your favorite kid? If you have a favorite kid actor, who do you think most accurately depicts the characters that we know and love?
Exactly. See, that's the thing. Well, Jared Hodges already agrees with this. He says, I like time travel from the Rangers and other shows, including Doctor Who.
And tune in later. We are actually doing a Doctor Who show on, is it the 5th episode now?
Yes, it is the 5th episode that just aired. That's right, just aired. You'll be able to watch it with us, or at least be able to discuss it with us here.
Yes.
So it's going to be good. Good stuff. I'm waiting for them to answer that question, but while they still are... wait, what? I missed the super chat. The Bat Tootsie actually hit us with a super chat.
Oh,
I'm so
Bat
sorry.
Tootsie!
I'm
And
so
I love
sorry.
that name, too.
The Bat Tootsie, man, said, I wasn't a fan of MMAR. And, I'm sorry.
I had
watched VR Troopers. So during that time, when the Alien Rangers were on, it was 10 episodes. And there people were actually watching VR Troopers. We still had Mass Rider, but it was Mass Rider still, right? In the U.S., or was it?
Mass Rider.
It was Mass Rider. So we had Mass Rider, VR Troopers, and Power Rangers during that time.
Oh, wow.
3 different shows. So
and very similar type
Yeah,
of
but the thing is,
concept.
they all aired on the same channel usually, and they're all Saban, and they had like a little hour and a half of just them. So it was like, when you say that you watch VR Troopers, so you just didn't watch Power Rangers, like you're like, forget it, and then VR Troopers came on, you watch it instead, or how'd you do it? Because how do you avoid a show that you usually will watch all the time, and then just...
Well, I don't know. For Bat Tootsie, I kind of agree, like, just based off of these, like, the first 2 episodes, I thought, I don't know, this is something that, I don't know if you noticed it as a kid, if you watched it while you were growing up, but I kind of thought they brought the content down to try to appeal to a younger audience than it already was.
Ooh.
I like things that grow with the audience, that kind of have, like, maybe a little bit darker themes, more intense, like, fights, because with... Giant Rita and Zedd on Earth, like, destroying everything. And these kids, it's a very dire situation.
Ooh.
But then when the Tangas come and, actually, Master Vile, like, takes everyone back, even though they're doing a really good job at destroying things.
Well, because remember, he said that you guys are going to mess up my plans. And that was interesting to me. I love the infighting that happens with the villains. Again, that's kind of expanding and giving us more insight into those characters.
Sure.
Because Zedd already does not like Master Vile. And so when this happens, it just fuels and gives him more. So that finally, in the end, when they did lose, and he was like, I actually am happy that, he was cool about it, because it was like, well, Vile is leaving. I won't have to worry about him anymore, And that was interesting, just had a little bit of infighting. And it was like, no, I'm going to stop you guys from doing this right now. It was just the emasculating portion of Lord Zedd. For me, that's what they were doing.
Yeah, I mean, that is a really good point. But it's just one of those things where I kind of wish there was more communication. Like, usually villains are known, I guess, now that I think about it, I kind of like that he doesn't necessarily reveal his master plan at the onset, because that's what villains always do, and that's how the Power Rangers always foil their plans. And for, the first time, I don't know, with all of it, it just didn't make sense that he took everyone. The Tangas came, and it was Rito who is in on this plan.
Yep.
And the kids were able to beat the Tangas and Rito without any struggle, and in the most very cartoonish, very comical ways. And I don't know, if you guys like that, let us know. But for me, I thought it was kind of taking it back a step from the realistic kind of martial arts that kind of brought me into the show, and that I really liked. But I mean, it was fun. It was kooky. They had we had the pictures here where they're like in the Target shopping cart, and they're doing seesaws and everything. But
it's so incompetent, but I did enjoy a little bit of the slapstick and the fighting and everything like that. I thought it was good stuff. In the chat, you did ask, who did they think were their favorite kid actors? We've got a few. Robin Chan says Young Tommy and Kat.
They were good. And the accent, I'm glad that they made sure to hire a child with an Australian accent.
Thank God, because that would have been horrible. A lot of people are still mentioning how they watched Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Oh.
Boom. That's right. And moving on from there, let me see. Still going on with that. Adam and Aisha. People,
yeah. Also, we're kind of on the same page of you guys in the chat, which is kind of interesting, because I feel like, I don't know a lot, so.
There goes my buddy Blackwing.
Blackwing, what did Blackwing say?
He says, actually, it was very cringy for him. The whole fighting and everything like that, and the kids being able to being able to beat the Tangas just that simply. As adults, you need your sparkly outfits, and then you can't do it later. So I get it.
We have this on the screen too, and this was one of the more cringeworthy parts for me. Is when Kat and Tommy come up with this magnificent scheme to pretend to be Billy's parents and to break their friends out of the police station after they're, picked up by the cops because they're being out after curfew. And the cop that takes off his glasses and they hide it and he can't see, and they just let these kids go with this kind of bumbling shuffling.
knew it was going to happen. First time when he starts talking, he takes off his glasses. When you saw how thick those glasses were before he put them
Coke
down,
bottle glasses.
and I was like, okay, that's not looking good. And then when she called, she's like, "Oh, g'day, my kids and a dingo ate my baby," or whatever she said.
You need to stop with that.
Okay, all right. All right, but no, she says, "Hey, my kids are missing, blah blah, etc., etc. Oh, you have to come down and fill out paperwork." Immediately, once that happened, I was like, 2 kids in a trench coat. That's exactly what I was thinking of. 2 kids in a trench coat gag. Sure enough, she walks in like that, and I was like, it happened. I loved it. I don't care what anyone. I am a Three Stooges fan. So this was great
comical.
For me because it was so stupid. It was funny.
I just thought it made the police look a little bumbling. I don't know if that was intention. I mean, it's fun for kids, and I think this was kind of fun. Like, if I was a kid, I might actually enjoy this. It was a little weird to see it, and this took a really long portion, I feel like, of the episodes, because this whole thing that they're talking about, the Rangers of Aquitar, and it took quite a long time to finally introduce that these kids can no longer morph into being Power Rangers, and that they have to call another world. Oh my God, those Coke bottle glasses, his eyes be bugging out. But
oh boy, look at that. I was like, oh, but yeah, and that whole thing about having to call into the planet. And doing that whole... Oh, man. Okay.
It was interesting. I do like that they're broadening, the universe and saying that there are Rangers on other planets, which introduces a new idea that how this series is going to continue as it does with new seasons, new iterations of Power Rangers.
That was the thing.
So I like that introduction. I thought...
it was world building, and that was great. Once again, I feel that at this moment, where unfortunately the producers were almost out of footage and they didn't know what to do, the writers got to be like, well, here goes another series, Kaku Ranger, which we already took some stuff from and used before, but we don't know what to do with the excess stuff. Well, now's our time. And they start to feverishly write and put it together. Dude, bravo to the writers on this.
Yeah, and it's
people may hate it, but bravo. And I think a lot of people say this is one of their most hated seasons. You should go back and watch this season because so much is setting up for everything that happens later, man. Like, you really need to take a moment and rewatch it now. Even though you'll be able to pick apart and hate some moments, rewatch it with us. Trust me, it's going to be something you're going to enjoy because it's great. It really is great.
And it's interesting. And even, like, the Rangers of Aquitar, like, their costumes I thought were a little hokey. It kind of reminded me of Galaxy Quest and when... I can't remember... Alan Rickman's character and, like, the whole headpiece. But, and the way they talk, the effect that they put over their dialogue, kind of... I don't know if I could watch an entire season of just that, so I'm glad that it is short. But working with what they have, I thought it was pretty interesting that, they come from a water planet. They put that effect over their voices to make it apparent. And the effort that they put into it, I thought was okay. And, some things are really good and some things are not that great. And,
the bumpy head thing, I'm not a fan of. It just, I look at it, I'm just like, oh, this looks weird to me. I would be that person that's standing right next to them, like, and they're like, so Dano, how's everything?
And we do kind of see that just a little bit, like when they go to... Wait, was it this episode where they're in the fountain, or is that the next one?
Who cares? We're all over it. It's all one episode, like we said.
No, because the third one is like a little bit separate, but we get to see them, and it's kind of fun, and and it's also introducing a new thing that I'm not really familiar with, but they also mention when Alpha has to defuse the bomb that's outside.
Okay.
They mention Alpha 6, and it's how many Alphas are there, and this brings up a whole nother box of questions, which really interests me, not knowing what's going to happen or where this is necessarily going.
And remember when we were watching an episode prior, there was a moment where they mentioned they were cleaning out something, and in like a box was an old Alpha. And it was like a scene where Joe pointed out where he was like, oh, there's an old Alpha in there. And it was like, what? And he was like, oh, yeah, that's Alpha 5. Or Alpha 4.
Goodness.
He was like, oh, that's Alpha 4. And you were just like, wait, what? Huh? Like, what's been going on? Has Zordon been just like, oh, well, this one's done. Put it in a box. Hey, do you put your replacement in the box? And
it's pretty interesting. And I feel like Alpha did have some good moments in here, too. And I thought it was really awkward. And I thought it was super sweet when Aisha tells Alpha, hey, I love you. And Alpha's like, yo, I don't have feelings. I'm a robot. But then as soon as
that was the picture.
And as soon as they morph out, though, he's like, I love you too, kids. And I thought that was kind of like a very sweet, tender moment that, you know. And it was cute. It was cute.
I loved every bit of that because it was like just bringing them together. And it shows how important everyone is to everyone else. And it's like, we don't see you as just a guy in a booth. We don't see you as just a robot or something like that. You're important to us, Alpha.
And I feel like they don't express that necessarily to Zordon and Alpha on a regular basis, how much, you know, their guidance does help them. So to see that moment, I thought was super sweet. But then they don't really get to fight, so I'm glad that they gave the kids some dialogue, because then we get to see the Power Rangers of Aquitar morph, and I was a little disappointed that their suits weren't more, you know, water marine looking. Yeah. They were just kind of the regular Power Ranger suits, and, you know, I know why, and they already had them. So.
I gotta say, though, but bravo to Master Vile for figuring out, okay, what I can do is just blow up the command center.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if I blow up the command center, this will be able to take care of it. Like, it took his genius to do it, because they never thought about it. Like, and then even Zedd says it like, oh, that's a good idea. And it was like, yeah, it's a good idea. Let's go ahead and blow up the command center. And then it will mess with the morphing grid, et cetera, et cetera. We won't have to worry about them at all. That was genius. And then, unfortunately,
their plans are foiled.
Can buy our favorite robot, which was Alpha. And I love the fact that Alpha was sweating.
Yes.
I love that he was sweating. It was so diehard for me. It was just like, deet, 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 and his hands shaking and then all that. And I loved it. I was like, yes, give me this great drama. Give that man an Emmy. Give that man inside of that suit an Emmy, because it was great for me. Yeah, well, that lady. Well, no, I thought the lady is a lady in the suit. Lady in the okay.
But Alpha
so
is
give that lady an Emmy.
I would say Alpha is gender neutral at this point.
Yes, yes. Give that robot an Emmy.
Yes. But it was funny. This was a fun episode, and it is something that, you know, as kind of corny and hokey as it is, I still actually kind of enjoyed it.
Dude, it was good.
And for those of you in the chat, what would you rate this episode? It's a departure because it is kids, and like I had kind of mixed feelings on it, and
right, true,
you know,
true.
And do we want to go over some notes about this before we give our ratings?
Please. All right, we happen to have some notes here that hashtag show, and we're gonna go over them for you. All right, so
we'll just pick a few. There's actually a lot of notes, so we'll kind of find the best.
We'll figure out which one. All right, I don't know if I want to read all this. I'm not gonna read that. So. Final episode to feature Giant, Goldar, and Rito.
That is actually interesting, because Goldar, I feel like, is one of the main monsters to be enlarged, supersized on a regular basis. Right? So I'm a little sad that our little gold monkey friend no longer gets to be super big. And the Aquitar Rangers in morph form use the suits of the 5 main Rangers from Kaku Ranger.
Yes.
And I'm not super familiar, but it's like, I mean, I know why the suits look like they do, but... And I actually thought they were pretty interesting. They're way more uniform than what we're used to. They just kind of like more color based. So.
Oh yeah, I've got fun facts too, but I'll see if they're in there.
Yeah.
The coins the Aquitar Rangers use to summon their battle Borgs are the coins from the Kaku Rangers Doran Changer Henshin devices, which is the device they use to change, which are not used for the aliens to morph in the show. So even though they had the coins, they didn't even have to use. It was fine.
That's
they had the morph in them.
I mean, they're aliens. We don't need to see. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to cut footage and try. I like that they're putting more American footage in it, but yeah. And what are these? Oh, are these the errors?
Oh, well, no.
There's just one error. Oh, these are just more fun things. So the Zords consist of 5 robotic units, each serving a purpose for the good of the whole when combined.
That's the text that on display used to believe.
To debrief the Aquatins in regard to the Shogun Zords reads as follows. This is why you need to read, kids. I skip around and things don't make sense. I find this funny. Okay.
So this is some of the text that was on display used.
Yeah, and this is what Billy is actually reading. So go ahead. So the Zords consist of 5 robotic units, each serving a purpose for the good of the whole. When combined, 5 units become 1 unit, able to combat most formidable opponents, especially during sweeps week.
It said that on screen. Oh, that's genius.
Oh my goodness.
That's genius. So they were effing around. Oh, I love this. All right. Well,
and it continues.
The first unit is a monkey. Yes, a monkey. The second unit is a bird. It's house trained. Thank goodness. The third unit is a bear. It is one of the few bears in existence which has engulfed Ted Nugent. Oh my God! Jesus.
What is going on?
The fourth unit is a wolf, cunning, rabid, and randy. What? The fifth is a frog. If it gets too hot, it dries up and croaks.
Like dies or like actually
Croaks.
Puns.
So what else?
And the attributes of the separate units. It also has freaky big feet and flaming fish sword. Why a fish? Only Ninjor knows for sure. So in conclusion, try to read the manuals in the Zord's glove compartments. Good luck and thanks for flying.
Oh
this
my
is
God.
actually what it says. This is probably the best note that we have ever read.
Ever read. I don't care
And
what
the
happens.
best note for the
That's it. That's it. I think we've done it. Now.
I feel like there's no more notes. Do you want to just go?
You know what?
Let's just.
Hold on, wait.
Personal notes.
This marks the first appearance of
No, the one I wrote in.
Oh, this one. Oh, the flashlight lantern bomb.
Oh.
Oh my god. Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. The bomb. Yes.
Like
It
an Eddie
literally
Bauer
was.
looking.
Yes, right. Look at that. It's definitely a flashlight. It is a flashlight. And they were
I
just
owned
like.
that flashlight. That's how I knew it.
Oh my
goodness.
God. Okay, so our producer Daniel County actually owns that type of fllight.
And how he knew
and
that this
recognized
was a bomb.
immediately that this is what they kind of shifted into a bomb, which is still cool. I gotta
It is.
give it up
And
for
they're
that.
being clever. Good
yeah.
job to the props department.
All right, so we got a super chat. Bat2C Man says, Elle, if you can come to hang out next week. Well,
Where are you located?
Where are you located?
Or why don't you come down to
That's what I'm
Manhattan
thinking. You
Beach?
come
We're at
down
the
to the
Comic Bug.
studio.
If you ever want to come to the Comic
Yeah.
Bug in Manhattan Beach, this is where we film all of our streams.
Yeah, all of our streams. It would be great. You come down here, and you know what time we're on. We're on right now. So you can come on down and be able to kind of chit chat with us maybe before we go on. Be part of the studio audience.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea, and it would be cool to do. Now I've got some special cool notes that I know that you will appreciate, Al.
Excellent.
This is why I actually did them.
This is the scene.
Oh, that transfer.
Oh God.
No, where this is where all
The
notes
reading?
pop up.
Oh, this is what they were reading. Oh,
On the
okay.
screens.
Got it.
Oh,
So
the data transfer.
But then when you flip
Flip
it,
it
this
over.
is,
Oh.
the effort that they put into the translation of this is ridiculous.
Genius.
I love it.
Genius.
I
All
wish
right,
they
so-
put more effort into the overall story, but yeah, no.
Well, you know.
But
we
I
can
love
only-
I love that golden little nugget of information that we just went through. That's probably my favorite thing.
One can dream. So, fun facts. Ninjor, aka Ninja Man, first appearance was on Cocker Ranger.
Okay.
And that's of course the source material for our Alien
Yeah.
Rangers. Now Rito is also from Cocker Ranger.
Yes.
Like I said,
We were
actually
talking
he's
about.
his character kind of looks like the demon from what is that? I just said
Death Note?
He kind of looks like that,
Ryuk,
and then
I
he
see.
starts off as a human and then turns into a kind of like that Rito character.
Yes.
So he ends up dying, and when he dies, that's where he unleashes this whole thing where they release the god kind of whatever, which is like the Shogun Zord and blah blah yada yada. They release these, and now they come to help them. But it also brings his father, which is Master File.
Yeah, and I thought that's really interesting that the American decided
To still keep
to
it.
keep that part of the story.
Oh, they
in.
still kept the Ninjor thing about why
Yeah.
Ninjor was in
the little vase.
Ninjor's inside of a vase, and the reason he was inside of a vase is because he was tricked by these evil like kind of shoguns or tri-lords, whatever they were, and because he was tricked by them, he was banished and put inside of a vase, kind of
Okay.
like that. And then finally, one day when they had to break him out, they break him out, and then blah blah. It's a big thing in Cocker Ranger. And the Ninja Megazord is also from Cocker Ranger.
Oh,
so
okay.
like a whole bunch of stuff that we've
That's
seen.
where they pulled
pull
all
all
this
of that
information.
from. So it was just like, oh, that was interesting. Just thought we'd talk about that. Bring it up a little bit quick.
Yeah, and like where the series kind of
heck
originated
yeah.
from and where these ideas, actually came from. And if you ever want to get invested into that,
Yeah, if you ever do. Now, for Ares, they did say Alpha was somehow sweating under the pressure of defusing the implosion device, which is true.
He's a
a robot. How does he sweat, guys?
condensation from some
that can also
overheating
be-
wires.
Well, see, if he's getting
science.
condensation from overheating wires, then he's also gonna get. It's gonna be horrible because he's gonna get corrosion on all his ports because of that.
Well, it's a
gonna
good
happen.
thing that we have Alpha 6 in a box ready to be booted up.
That's right. Hey, Alpha 6 is always ready. And he did say it. Don't worry, Rangers, if there's, blah, blah, there's Alpha 6. Just like you're so nonchalant about your death. Oh, but he's tough that way.
He is.
I got to appreciate
Alpha
him.
5.
Yeah,
if when Alpha 6 does show up, if he shows up, I will be missing Alpha 5.
And now we can move on to...
But what was your rating? What was your rating for those first?
Oh, dang, I was going to try to go without saying it. Dang. Okay,
I want to know
fine.
because I know...
Fine, okay. What I'm going to give this, and this is going to be big, this is going to be interesting, a lot of people are going to hate me for it, but I'm going to give this episode a full-on 5. That's what I'm giving
No.
it. Yes.
No.
Full-on 5. These 2 episodes were great for me. I don't care that you hated the Alien Rangers, and if you did, you have a problem. It was something different. It was something new, and when you have to really appreciate all they had to work with and still make episodes, dear God, bravo. It gets a 5 from me.
Did anyone in the chat rate this episode?
Oh, let's see what people are rating the episode. Perfect.
Now we can see on big screen.
Yes. It saves us so much.
So we have Jared Hodges, who gives it a 5 out of 5, who agrees with you.
Dear God.
Layla
see?
Nolan gives it a 2.5 out of 5. She cringed a lot.
Yeah, true.
Decca Masterfan, 5 out of 5. Robin Chan, 4.5 out of 5. Garland Benson was a 3.
Was it 3 out of 3.9? No?
Oh, and Bat Tuesday with the 4.91223348 out of 5.
Yeah,
You're
God.
allowed to give that because you gave
Okay.
us a super chat.
Yes,
You have to
exactly.
accept that as well.
I accept it, and hey, it's fine. It's fine. Let me see. Maybe
We got
because
Funny
it's
Cake
not-
Comics for a 2.5 out of 5.
I just got through this one of Jetman. Oh, Jetman, dear God. Funny Cake Comics 2.5. Edward Sanchez. This episode is Edward Sanchez approved. He said 4 out of 5, guys. So that counts.
I'm actually
Someone
going to
sides
be
with
a
me.
little more generous just based off of that one note and the translations being super ridiculous with like the fish sword and big feet and all of that. I have upped my rating to a solid 3. I'll give it a 3.5.
Okay. All right. 3.5.
I don't know. Like I'm still getting used to it. It's kind of a big transition. What I expected out of these first episodes was supposed to be a little more menacing in my brain, but yeah.
Yes,
no.
I am shocked. You're right. I am shocked, right? 1 out of 5.
Toku Kid.
For Toku Kid. John Boys 777 gives it 3 out of 5. Weird, sad, weird.
So some people do kind of agree with me, and we have Andros who gives it
Andros,
a
25 out of 25,
which is
boom,
a 1.
baby.
He
No,
gave it a
what?
1.
No, he said that's a 4.
But
25 out of 25. That's a 100.
I divided
that's a 5.
it. Yeah. All
He's
right.
giving us a 5. It's
Fine.
great. Thank you.
I wanted to do division and say it's a 1, so I don't feel like I'm the only one rating it super low.
Thomas gives it a 3.5.
Okay. And Kelly Figueroa also gives it a 3.5.
See? Matt's a 4. We've got Matthew. Shout out. Fist
And
bump.
Mikey, the prom king, Perez, gives it a 4. So, I mean, I did give it a higher rating because it was super fun. And I thought it was a good episode.
Good. It
And
was
for the
great.
first 2 parts, maybe I should give it a little higher because then we go into the 3rd episode that we're talking about this week, which was Climb Every Fountain, which reminds me of the Sound of Music song. But
Oh boy.
this one was a little bit...
Climb every fountain.
Actually, this is the one that had the robot monster. I misspoke earlier. I thought it was in the first one, but this is the one
This
with the
is the one
robot
with the robot
monster.
monster. Okay.
When Billy is actually trying to find a way to make them into adults again. I kind
Which
of
is
got
cool.
confused because I'm watching these all together. So
Yeah.
please correct me if I misspeak in the chat. That's what the internet's for, right?
Hey,
Proving
no
me
problem.
wrong.
Blackwing
So-
2.5. All right, so that's what he said. He said 2.5. He just said, the guy
Yeah,
said 2.5. I love
and-
you, guy. All right, so.
And it's weird. They're still kids. They're not trying
Yes.
to...
Well,
it's
they're
not an
trying to
urgent
fix it.
matter to become adults again and spin the world back on its axis to make the world right.
Ooh.
Or whatever it is
No.
the problem is. But
No, well, yeah, because it said they were still trying to work on it to get it there. But I was worried about, like, wait a minute, if they grew up before the world spins back, when the world does spin back, are they still aging? Is that
see,
going to happen?
and that's a dilemma that we actually get with Billy in this episode, who successfully does
Yes.
transform himself back to an adult age, and the rest of his friends and the Power Rangers are still kids, so I'm not exactly sure how this works, but this is the one with the magical golden robot with the Empire State Building on his head, which I thought was fun, and I like that, and I wish the rest of the episode played to the strengths of them being children, like finding ways by getting out of like tight spaces or using like more imaginative ways that only kids will necessarily think of instead of still having the kind of the older Ranger mentality.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, it does make sense because they are still adults, they still have all of their memories, so... But I just wanted ways for these kids to excel and do something different that maybe the adult Power Rangers wouldn't be able to do.
Well, that's the thing, though, true, and that's where it does give us some limitations. And with those limitations, the great thing is, since we have them, we get to see how smart the Rangers are, how much they... We get to prove that they're heroes without having to put on the suits.
Yeah, and I do kind of like that where they
part.
don't have the Zords, they don't have the suits, they are incredibly more vulnerable, and, you know... It shows the ingenuity of these Power Rangers. And this episode didn't really have a whole lot for me. I don't really have
Honestly,
a whole lot to talk about.
This episode did not have much except for right here. This is the moment that was like, wait a minute. So here goes. They finally get the coins.
Oh, the power coins, yes, and...
Goodbye to the power coins. They're all dust. Golden dust. It's all good.
But it's like, what power coins do they have? I feel like they have different iterations. They're probably the old ones that don't even work and give them powers anymore.
Well, see, that's the thing. I was wondering, because those are there, but then they're in existence at the same time that the other ones are, because Ninja is somewhere. You know,
actually,
then
that's true. I keep forgetting about the time thing too, of like going back and which ones do have the power.
So I don't know if they even count or they do, but apparently they have some level of power because it helps them to still remember exactly who they are, blah, blah, yada. So when those coins are destroyed, shouldn't those Rangers be like, who are you again? Or, you know, like to you know, the Rocky and all of them, because they said that's the only reason they remembered is because of the coins.
That is a really good point. I mean,
here's your pothole.
But also, I mean, hey, Larry Newville, thanks for joining us. But I guess the other major thing about this episode that I kind of wanted to touch on is the fact that aliens had come down, and you know, the general public did see the new, you know, these alien rangers, and they're in the fountain rehydrating. And they accept them, and they have this award at the end saying, thank you so much for seeing our city. So we see that, you know, despite aliens coming to destroy Angel Grove on a daily basis, they don't have any prejudice towards aliens.
No, not at all.
And I thought that was actually kind of a cool thing. I don't know if it was intentional or not.
It was a great thing. Funny thing, it's all about acceptance. And one thing I didn't realize or notice, you notice behind him, what kind of flag that is?
Oh, a pride flag. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I did not know that.
I wonder if they knew back then
boom,
too, for
the
LGBT community.
I don't know. But I saw that and I was like, this is supposed to be a speech about acceptance. And then really behind them is a flag concerning acceptance. And I was like, dude, how can Power Rangers be wrong for anything? They are completely progressive.
What are your guys' ratings for this particular episode? I know we didn't talk about it too much, but it was... I mean, it had some good points. It didn't have some great ones, but you know, what are your ratings in the chat?
And while we're thinking about that, I got to point out, Andros hit us with another super chat.
Thank you so much,
Shout out to Andros. Right now, he asked the question of Ninjor meeting Ninja Steel Rangers. Your thoughts? My thought?
I have no thoughts because I have not witnessed this yet.
No. Just say
potential.
Yeah, just if it happened.
No,
you know, Ninja Steel Rangers.
You guys know how I feel about Ninjor. I'm not a fan, but also just because Daniel can do his impressions of Ninjor, I am 100% down with that.
Yeah, the only reason she'd say yes to it is if they say, well, we'll bring Ninjor back. We can't find the guy who did it. Daniel will do it for $10.
Yes.
I will.
You would do it for free. Don't even lie. You would do it for free.
I don't care. Just put my name on there. That's it. I'd come back and do Ninjor. That'd be great. I would love it. So, really looking into this episode, thinking about everything that's happened with it, seeing for everyone's rating right now, still waiting for it. While we are waiting for it, I did want to know, what do you think? I already know what's going to happen next. So what do you think is going to happen next on the show?
Well, I feel like they're going to be kids for at least another episode while Billy is trying to come up. By being an adult, I hope he's going to be a little more resourceful, get something together a little bit quicker.
Right.
But on a personal level, I'm kind of done. I want the kids to transform, be adults, and trying to transition into our next actual series. But we're only 3 episodes in, so, you know, we still have 6 more to go through. So they're going to be kids for a while, I'm assuming.
Yeah, for a little bit longer, but that's about it. But now we've already got some ratings. So looking into the ratings, we got Megan, who's giving it a 3.
Funny K Comics gives it a 3 out of 5.
We got Bat Tootsie Man, who gives it 3 out of 5.
And Thomas Franco gives it a 4.5 5. I'm guessing out of 5. And
Nice. And Jared Hodges, I give 4 because Billy turns back into an adult.
I do like that. That was one of my other favorite things. And Matt gives it a 2.
Oh, and Layla gives it a 3 out of 5. Dang it, Blackwing. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, see, people, I didn't notice the pride flag. I didn't notice the pride flag in there, so I give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, and I actually do like that for acceptance and like for theming. I thought that was pretty good.
Right.
Do we have any like last minute notes or errors on this
Last minute
particular
notes or
episode?
errors,
While we get a
actually,
couple more
there
ratings
weren't
in?
any really, except for the error that I will say. As young Billy says, cross your fingers. He has the Aquitarian sound when he says cross your fingers.
You know, I didn't even notice that, which is kind of
didn't.
interesting. I wonder if this is foreshadowing of why he's going to leave with the Rangers. He's already starting to learn their language and try to adapt, which I thought might have been...
Spurs National says 5 out of 5. Give it 100%. It was great.
I mean, it's fun, and I'm glad that you guys really enjoyed this, and I feel like talking about it, I do like these episodes a lot more, and if you have more to say, because we're wrapping up right now, you got to go to thhspowerrangers.com, and this is kind of our new link that'll kind of bring you to the Power Ranger community.
We're trying to be able to expand the Power
THS.
Ranger community and give you guys a place to be able to speak. Usually there's places and forums you go to and nothing's being paid attention to and no one's voicing your opinions. That's where you can go to THS Power Rangers and get your opinion vocalized. We see it, we hear it, and trust me, everyone else does too. It's the place to go.
Yeah.
My opinion.
And
So, well, along with that, I gotta say, once again, check us out on Facebook. Anytime you have a chance, you can join THS Hashtaggers. That's a place where you can still have a conversation about anything in geek culture. I mean, you're talking Power Rangers, Doctor Who, Star Wars, any and everything. You can talk there in a forum and just expand your horizons when it comes to people to talk to. It's hard to beat people.
it is.
I'm just saying, it makes sense. And we want to say thank you to everyone that did Super Chat today.
Andros and Batuzi. Thanks so much.
Who else did we have? Is that?
I think
it was just, oh my God.
Super chat for Daniel's shirt.
Oh, no! Super Chat for my shirt. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks,
I appreciate it. Everyone hates this shirt right now. I'm not joking.
Oh.
No. Ro actually loves it. Ro only loves it because I'm wearing it right now. That's the only reason. So we can laugh at it later. No. Hey. Yes, I'm actually going to draw a comic later. That's what I'm going to do. No, you guys don't know who Dave Baker is. Great guy. But with that, I think we can go ahead and sign off. Say thank you guys for tuning in and
catch
watching.
us on Doctor Who next. And
Yes, that's right. So catch us on Doctor Who in about 30 minutes.
Yep. And
Actually, no.
soon. Like.
Oh my God!
Like right
Check
now.
us out in 5 minutes right here for our Doctor Who review. We'll be talking about Doctor Who in the latest episode. Trust me, it's going to be good conversation.
Join us here. Join us at that #show.com.
That's right.
Stay up to date with everything trending
In geek pop culture.
Oh, we forgot.